being baited on purpose to drive clicks and views, and it's about time we talk about it and disengage. Let's get into it. So, the entire internet, or I should say black women specifically, are in a flurry because James and Fuhad of the Shits and Gigs podcast sat with Andrew Schultz on his podcast and laughed at some racist jokes that Andrew made about black women. Now, here's what you guys are missing in the flurry. Because I did my research this morning, and guess what I found? On Andrew Schultz's page, on the Flagrant Podcast page, there's a new episode of the podcast today, and guess what one of the title lines of it is? Reaction to James and Fuhad's apology. Andrew Schultz played their apology on his podcast and embarrassed them. Laughed at their apology, doubled down and said he didn't apologize for making the jokes in the first place, and literally shit on them for making an apology. Here is what happened, if you guys missed it. When he set that joke up, first of all, he said, what's the black wife effect? He asked James and Fuhad that question. If you don't know what that is in 2024, you're not on the internet. He knew exactly what the black wife effect was, but he just knew that if he asked them that question, they'd have to explain it, and that's a perfect setup for his joke. Remember, he's a comedian, even if a shitty one. So he set them up, they fell for it, and answered the question. Oh, the black wife effect is blah, blah, blah. Then he sets them up with another humdinger. Remember, comedians know their joke. You don't. Okay? That's how comedy works. They know the end of the punchline before the audience does. At this point, James and Fuhad were the idiot audience. So then he says, oh, have y'all dated black girls or white girls? They say both, blah, 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 which sets him up to dig more and get into his jokes. I'm not excusing the fact that James and Fuhad laughed at the jokes, but what I'm saying is, this is what's going on the internet. Andrew Schultz knows that black women have a strong presence on the internet. He knows that we're vocal. He knows that we get angry about any time that black women are not protected and ill is spoken of us. So guess what he did? Farmed our anger for his engagement. You know how many people probably went to his podcast to see what the original footage was? Now he gets to do another episode shitting on them for their apology. The views are going round and round and round. And let me tell you how I know this is actually a thing. I made a video months ago about the whole Tyler Perry black women should date people that can only pay the light bill situation, right? There was a black male content creator that came under my video. It went viral. He came under my video and made inflammatory comments about black women. Here's what happened. Black women jumped under his comments. He then invited those women he was arguing with in my comments to do lives about me and my content. Here's where it gets funny. I was randomly scrolling through Instagram one day. I saw him do the same thing under another black woman's post. Made a very nasty comment about black women. Of course, black women jumped on it in his comments, and he engaged, and he pulled them into his page to do lives and get engagement and clicks and likes. And that's when I realized he does this for a living. And a lot of these people do. Not just black men, white men, whomever. Anybody on the internet knows if they talk about black women disparagingly, we're going to click into action. You're going to get the likes, you're going to get the views. We're going to go on live with you and argue about it. Ladies, stop doing it. Stop doing it. These people are using us for engagement. Call your homegirl if you're mad about it. Do not go on these platforms, on these podcasts, on their social media pages, getting in a flurry, because they don't mean half the shit they're saying. They just know that you are going to react and watch their content. And remember, people are getting paid for those views. So let's not give money to people who don't support us. The best way to show you don't love somebody is indifference, not hate. Love you.
We have to stop giving these people clicks.